Welcome students. In this video we will see how we will create an form authentication in ASP.NET. So first of all, create a web form application. So we can select this ASP.NET web application here, and you can give some name from authentication example. Forms authentication example. So here's our application, and we need two web pages. One for adding the login control, for example, the text boxes for entering the username and password, and a second web page for where the user after successful login will be redirected to. So we will create two web form. Add new item, web form, and we can change the name here. My login.aspx. Now we create another web page, and this is the profile.aspx. And just add some tag here. Now come back to my login.aspx. Here we can create the login control. We need a login button, and what we need, two labels, and two text boxes. Now place them at right places. First label will be here. Username, and then the corresponding text box. Now second label, and second text box. This is the password, and here the text mode will be password. And this button is called login. Let us see the design and give some alignment. Now click on the login button. Here we are at the code behind. Now add the namespace using system.web.security, and this namespace contains the classes Forms Authentication and Forms Authentication Ticket. So in the Forms Authentication we write the code if Forms Authentication dot authenticate. So we will call this authenticate method, and it will validate a username and password against the credentials stored in the configuration file for an application. So we will create the configuration file later. It takes two parameters: a string name, that is the username, and password. So our username is in text box 1. Let us see what is the name of these text boxes. In the source, so ID should be provided here. Let us provide the ID. Here also ID will be text box 2. Now come to the code behind. Now if the credentials match, then we perform the redirection. So we'll call the method forms authentication dot redirect from login page. Redirect from login page, and what does this method do? It redirects an authenticated user back to the originally requested URL or the default URL. So if the user's credentials are verified, then the user will be redirected to the My Profile page. And what are the parameters? First is the username and a cookie boolean, whether the persistent cookie will be formed or not. So we'll create a persistent cookie, so we'll pass true for this, and this is the username. So we'll call this method redirect from login page, and this is our username is in the text box 1. And then we will call response dot redirect, and our page is profile.aspx. Now we'll create the configuration settings. So here we click on the web.config, and in the web.config under the system.web we'll create the authentication tags. So this is authentication, mode will be forms, and under it create the forms tag. You can put any name for the form like my form. Then login URL will be mylogin.aspx. And we can use other properties also. Timeout will be 40 minutes, let us say. Protection is another property for sending the authentication ticket in the encrypted form. So protection equal to all. We can use sliding expiration also. And now we will put certain users here under the credentials tag. So we use credentials, and password format will be clear. We can make any other value like MD5 SHA1 and these SHA256845112, but for using this the password need to be converted into these format earlier, and then we need to put here the password in the encrypted form. Now we'll use the clear, and we create let us create two users. Name let us say this is ABC, and create a password also like this is 123, and we create another user. Let us say this is XYZ, and give a password to it also. Now the authentication tag is complete. Now grant certain permissions to these users. So for this we create the authorization tag, and allow, we'll use the allow tag for granting the permissions. So user ABC will be granted the permission to access the application, and we can deny the permission also. Let us say we deny the permission to another second user. Save it. Now our web.config entries are over, and go back to the mylogin.asps, and this is the design of our web page. And now run this application, control F5. Hmm. Let us use the first user ABC and the password, and use login. So we'll go to my profile. Now again run the application. Now since the password is wrong, so it is not redirecting to the my profile page. Now let us use another user XYZ, and password is 456, and then perform the login. Now it will show the access is denied because we have denied the access in the configuration file. So this is the error message: unauthorized login failed due to the server configuration, and permissions are denied to view this directory. So this is all for the forms authentication, and this is the very basic example of forms authentication. Thank you.